Hey, welcome back to Hot Rod Madness. This week, it's time for another episode of The People's Talent. And this time out, big question here, folks. You ever wondered how these people with the classic cars, they got these antique license plates on the back of their cars? How do they register that? Big question. I think I got the answer right here. How you doing, Craig?
Great, Tim. How's it going with you?
Oh, man, I'm doing just fine. You know, the Milkman's always doing all right.
All right.
How about that?
Great. Thanks for having me here.
Hey, no problem, dude. Check this out. This guy here, good friend of mine, he happens to have a whole collection, and he deals license plates. And one day I went up to him and said, hey, man, how do I get a license plate for my classic truck? You know, the Milkman's baby looks all naked with just a regular old plate on there. Regular plates look dull and boring. We gotta have some cool looking plates on there, man. So how do we do that, Craig?
Well, first off, you've got to find one. You can find them in different ways. Internet, people like me deal them, people at swap meets, car shows. You can just find them. If you get to looking, you can find them. And sometimes you find them in not so good a shape, like this 1939 tag.
Wow, 39.
But they can be brought back to life with a little work.
Cool. That's a Georgia plate, right?
That is a Georgia passenger plate.
39.
Here's one that's been
Cool.
brought back to life, and
Yeah.
you wouldn't be ashamed to run that on your vehicle if you had 1939.
So you got a way to restore these, don't you?
I do some myself, and I have other people do some.
Cool.
There's some
Excellent.
good restorers out there.
All right, you get an idea of what he's got here. Ladies and gentlemen, Craig Chapman, license plate collector and dealer. Give him a warm welcome. Sound effects, please. How about that, Craig?
Oh, that's all right.
All right, cool. Had to throw that in. Okay, well, Craig, you know, at the end of this segment, I'm going to invite you out to our cruise-in, man, to set this stuff up and try to sell a few at our cruise-in.
Well, sure.
I think it'll draw a nice crowd out there. People are always interested in this. That's why I had you out, Craig.
Well, thank you.
This is cool. This is
It's
awesome.
like free advertising.
Well, yeah, if you want to look at it that way. Hey, man, that's what Hot Rod Madness is all about, helping you out, you know?
All right.
Okay. Love the shirt, dude.
Well, thank you.
That's cool.
That's how the best way for people to get in touch with me is crc135@gmail.com.
Cool. All right. You can also contact us at randomrides53@gmail.com to get in touch with him in case you forget. So we'll probably have that posted on our channel anyways. Well, all right, Craig. Take me through the steps on how do you take, I mean, I know you restore these. How do you go from a rusted plate, old stuff, to something that looks brand new with a 1930 year model stamped on it? That looks brand new, Craig.
Well, thanks. Actually, that one used to be a roofing shingle. That's how a lot of these survived. They had leftover license plates.
Really?
This one was covered halfway with tar. That's the hardest part, is getting all the old tar that's been baked on all these years.
Yeah, so people use these for all kind of stuff.
Yes.
And you go find them and bring them back to life and put them back on the rides, right?
That's right.
That's cool. That's really neat.
And then other than stripping them down, priming them, and then painting them back the original colors, that's pretty much it. It takes, there's people that do it better than me, but it takes practice like anything else. You have to start out, and as you do it, you get better doing it.
So how long have you been into this?
I've been collecting license plates probably 20 years.
20 years. Guy probably knows what he's talking about. 20 years later, yeah, he's probably got a nice little collection too, don't you?
I like it.
Yeah. Is your garage full of them?
Yes.
You see what I do with them. I put them all around my garage.
Oh yeah. The garage, basement of the house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Decoration.
Anywhere but in the house.
Yeah. The wife, you know.
Right.
The wife probably don't want license plates everywhere.
No.
This is a really cool hobby. As a matter of fact, when if I ever get the chance to retire, I might get into this too, and I'll probably come see you.
That'd be great.
Get to know how it runs. But anyways, I'm looking at, what's the oldest you got here, man? I'm looking at a 1926 plate here. What's the oldest you have here?
The one that's probably the oldest I brought, and I just brought this one. This was a passenger plate, where back then, from 1922 to 1940, if it was a truck plate, it would say truck on it.
Okay.
Back then, Georgia looked for different ways to distinguish and keep people from just changing a car plate, putting it on a truck, just trying to keep them honest. So they had a lot of different colors from the plate that was showed up obvious. And in 1941, they started using letters, different letter designations on them, which they still do today.
Okay. Cool.
Georgia started issuing state license plates in 1910.
1910.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
Wow.
And I just brought a few. Back then, they bought them from different manufacturers. You can see, as you saw, this 1930 was a long plate. 1931, it's about 2/3 the size. 1941, it was wider and longer. Plus, this 1941 Georgia was the first reflectorized license plate in the United States.
Reflective.
Right. They have bead reflectoration. You can see the sizes are different. In 44, to save metal for the war effort, they shrunk the plates again.
Hey, wow. That is an odd looking plate. Okay, it's still got 4 holes. Got the Georgia 1944 on it. That is pretty cool. Neat little license plate.
Yeah.
So to save money and to save metal back in 1944, they shrunk them. That's all
right.
you got.
That's right. Also, between in the early years, they would issue this dash disc. It would have your tag number stacked on it, and they required you to keep this in the vehicle. Most people would put them on their dash. That's why they're commonly called dash discs.
Okay.
And that would keep you from taking your tag off and stick it on another car. So if you got stopped, that number should match your tag number.
Right.
They made these from the 1910 up to 1928. In 1929, they went to pairs for front and rear for your license plates, and they made them up through 1941, and they stopped that for the war effort too. You can see they had front and rear, so you had one for the front, one for the rear, which a lot of states still do it now, but not Georgia.
California still does that, don't they? One for the front.
Yes, they do.
Okay. So were you required to rivet that to your dash?
Right, either rivet it or screw it on. I've found old cars in junkyards where they actually had them down on the floorboard, up.
Okay.
But it's just like a little 2-inch disc.
Stuff you never knew.
Yeah. And
okay. So one important little tidbit of information there that I'd like to share with everybody is, before I met Craig, I wanted the original license plate for 1953 on the Milkman's Baby. Well, I didn't know how to go about doing it, and Craig explained to me. And I got one of these forms. You can pick these up at the courthouse, right?
Courthouse. I printed this off the internet, off the Georgia DMV website.
Okay.
This morning. They call it a T224 form.
All right, so after you fill this out, you register it to your original plate that you have now.
That's correct.
And
You carry the plate and the form to the tag office.
Okay.
Because they want to see the plate.
Yeah.
And you can run anything from 1970
Yeah.
and back. You can run as your manufacturer. Everything except a dealer tag or a government issue tag.
All right.
Government like city passenger or county truck.
Gotcha.
Or it's one that says GVT on it.
All right, in order to, say I got pulled over and they want to know my original tag, I got my paperwork, rubber band around my original registration tag under my seat of my truck. And they told me to carry that. Now, everybody should do that, right?
That is correct.
Cool.
That's all you
Okay.
do.
And I guess if you get pulled over, you show them that, you're good.
That's correct.
All right.
And it's been around long enough now for most police officers to realize that.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
as of right now, it's just for 1970 and older.
All right. Nothing newer than 70.
No.
Okay.
But it's just a matter of time before they change it again.
They're gonna step it up a year or two, right?
Well, let's hope so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you should hope so.
Yeah, that's right.
That keeps you in business, right?
Right.
I've seen Craig at many swap meets doing this stuff, and when you set up at a swap meet, man, your table is surrounded by people. They love this stuff,
Right.
just like I did. I had to have one,
That's right. If they're not buying, they like to look at them.
Yeah.
Reminisce anyway.
Well, this is all part of American history here. And I'm loving it. That's what Hot Rod Madness is all about. Keep it alive, you know?
Yes, sir.
People like you, we're keeping it alive. That is really cool. 1939, 38. All right, now, say I wanted a 38 plate. How much would this plate cost me, Craig?
Oh, this particular 1938, there was a lot of leftovers.
Mm-hmm.
A pair like this, I would probably sell for $50
$50.
for the pair because there was a lot of leftovers.
Wow, you get two of them for $50.
Right.
Okay.
Like a 39, a single one, one unrestored, this would go for around, let's see, probably about $35. One restored, you're looking at $75 to $100.
Wow, okay. Say this.
Some years are a lot harder to find than others.
Yeah, I'd imagine so, and that ups the value on them.
That
right?
does.
The,
And condition is everything. A lot original one, nice original ones are probably worth more than a restored one.
Mm-hmm. What about this one here? This little shrunk plate. How
Well,
much?
this one would probably be around $40.
The price, right?
But the only thing you think about, they didn't sell any new cars in 1944.
You're right. So how are you going to sell that?
Well, you might have an old Jeep you bought from Army surplus
Cool.
that you could run that on.
Because that's pretty much what they were building, military
Right.
vehicles in that time.
But a lot of people like just the year of their birth, just to hang on the wall. You know, so I was born in Georgia in 1944.
That is a cool.
I want a tag.
That looks
Hang
good
on
on
my
the
wall.
fridge over there.
Yeah.
Cool. That's very interesting, Craig. Man, that is cool. Wow, I love these plates, man. And
Thank you, Tim. Appreciate it.
cool. Thanks for coming by, man. There we have it. Another episode of The People's Talent.